We are live. Welcome, welcome, one and all, to the last episode of the 2024 NFL season.
What a shame. What a shitty
It's
season
over.
to say goodbye to.
I know. I'm not sad to say goodbye. Maybe Daniel wouldn't even be sad to say goodbye considering how it ended.
We got a three-person pod today because Tina has been giving podcasting privileges tonight. Usually she plays with the cords too much, but she's very sleepy on my lap right now. So we'll see how it goes. I just miss her so much that I want to spend all the time I can.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. My voice is still making a comeback, so it's a little better than it was. Still not
Exciting
great.
news though, Tina's definitely found her meow.
That's good. That's
It's
good.
always been a bit of it's been a squeak a little bit, been pretty squeaky. It's been kind of a sound until a couple weeks ago, but she's definitely found her meow.
I
She's been
uh
she was so vocal when I walked in the door.
I remember back when Zeus was a puppy when he first got him. It wasn't a bark, it was a yip. It was a
Yeah,
yip yip yip. And eventually now that little shit can bark now.
yeah, it was like more like mm. But now, oh, she just looked at me. Now it's a meow, meow.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, she
Well,
did a sound back. She did a sound back. It was
welcome
really light.
Tina.
It was
Welcome
really
Tina. Very happy to have you on the pod.
yeah. I felt
Um,
one of your cat team people, right?
Finally another cat team rep to to show out.
Let's
Um,
see. She's gray and white, so she's a Raiders fan probably.
oh, it's true. She would be a Raiders fan. I think um,
The
we
autumn wind is a
established
Tina. The autumn wind is a Tina.
Autumn Wind Satina. On that note, I think, and I don't know how we came to this conclusion, but I think of all, like, when I was watching Zeus watch games during COVID, which was really the only year we've had him where I was at home so I could watch him watch games. The team that always seemed to grab his attention the most was the Packers.
Oh
So
yeah.
Zeus is a Packers fan.
Poor guy. Or no, not poor guy. Just boo. Basic.
Yeah, he hasn't been alive to see much Packers success.
It's at the
Um,
karaoke event in the first six songs. The three cliche karaoke songs got used in the first six.
what are those three?
Try to guess one or two of them. You might get them.
Mr. Brightside.
No, thank God. I hate that song.
Uh, let's see. I want to dance with somebody.
Nope. Okay, I'll give it to you.
All right.
Sweet Caroline,
Yeah.
My Way,
Yeah.
Fly Me to the Moon.
I don't know. Fly me to the moon.
Fly me to the moon. Oh, we might get in trouble for this. Sinatra.
Oh, so not. Oh,
With
okay. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. I
me
think I do know what you're talking about.
among
Never
the
mind.
stars. Let me. So like on Survivor or like Big Brother, if like the cameras are on somebody when they're doing something pretty bad, they start singing like the Beatles because they won't air that.
That's crazy. Because I can't imagine any of those people actually sound like the Beatles, if I'm being honest.
No, but a few times they've actually played songs that uh contestants have sung, and it wasn't like when they were baiting something, just like a fun moment. They've actually
Mm,
paid for the licensing. However, in the streaming copies these days, they cut those scenes. It's very sad.
mm,
So like that Sesternino, na 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 na. Remember that? Na, na,
hmm
na, hey, 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 goodbye. They cut that out of the stream. They cut out "Are You Lonesome Tonight," which is one of the best scenes ever.
Oh,
Um, when one a lady's making fun of another guy. It's very funny. Um, uh, the one I do remember that they is still in is I've shown you Coach before, right? He's the guy I have the
mhm.
flag of. He like, I'm a, you know, he's a conductor, and he was like conducting to his tribe mates with like a stick. And it's like, and then I'll cue the strings, but and they actually played the like classical music in the
Oh
background for it.
gosh.
It's so funny.
That's great.
That
That's
guy's my
great.
favorite player ever, man. He's just such a not for anything he did, like game wise, He's a very much a unintentionally funny guy, and he's amazing. Still never responded to my DM, sadly.
That's all right.
The
That's all right.
freaking
One
the
of these
Dragon
days.
Slayer, Dragon Slayer, that's his move.
Oh,
He's
that's
like
great.
in a confessional, he's trying to make himself a nickname that people will stick, Do you call me the orchestrator because I conducted this great move? Or the Dragon Slayer for cutting the head off the dragon? He's like trying to make his own nickname. And it's like at the end of a challenge that he won, he's like, "You better believe it, baby, Dragon Slayer." And then, like in a confessional right after, it's like, "You hear what I said at the end of the challenge? You hear what I said, guys?"
Hey man, making your own nickname is very frowned upon. It has to be
He's
given
the
to you.
only one that it works for because he's just so funny.
Well, I mean, I don't think it necessarily works for him. It's so bad, it's good.
Honestly, I respect him for it at this point. He just so bought into the bit because he's one of those guys who likes mythological things too. He always did. He always talked about the ancient samurai or King Arthur.
Oh yeah, my
So
curriculum then.
oh yeah, he'd nail it, dog. He calls himself a Renaissance man. He's smart.
Oh yeah.
I am one of the last Renaissance. That's his like first confessional. He has all these very far-fetched stories about how he kayaked the Amazon and almost got killed by a tribe of natives. It's like
Uh-huh.
got airlifted in by the Brazilian National Guard. Like at the reunion, he's like, "I actually took a lie detector test here to see the results," and he took it out of his pocket. Don't get me started on Coach, man. I could go a whole hour.
Well, we got time. We got time. But um we are live. We got a game on Sunday. It's a big one out here.
Coach Wade, come on our podcast, please.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
He's a
of
soccer
course.
guy, though.
Oh,
That's
lame.
that's yeah. His real name's Benjamin.
Yeah.
Benjamin Wade, but he goes by Coach. And
I
his loved one on his loved one visit, guess who it was?
who's that?
His assistant coach. It literally was. He coached like college women's soccer or something.
Oh, jeez. I mean, no disrespect to college women's soccer, but you calling yourself the coach for that?
Yeah, and like on his Chiron on the show, all 3 seasons that he played, it said coach.
Huh. I mean, if that's your job, that's your job. I guess I respect it.
So there was like an unintentionally funny thing on his third season. He was one of two returning players, and then the rest were um uh um the rest were uh newbies, and there's this one guy who just followed him to the end of the earth, all the way to the end. Got smoked in the end. He coach didn't win though, sadly. But his Chiron, the Chiron usually says like name, tribe, and occupation, you know?
Uh-huh.
And they did a really funny, subtle joke, and it was there the whole season. And it says Albert, Upolu tribe, dating coach slash baseball. Or no, dating slash uh no, baseball coach, or I forget how it works, but you can
Hmm.
read it as dating coach and he's a baseball. So people always like to make funny pictures of that. And to be fair to him, he really embraced the meme on Twitter because that season was like 2012. So his Twitter handle is at no votes because he got no votes in the end. And he's very funny. He's very gracious about it, which that's the best way to do it when you get killed in a Survivor season. Oh wait, no, that's what it is. So okay, I remember what it is. He's a baseball coach and a dating coach. So it says baseball slash dating coach. And so you
Ah, there
can
you
read it
go.
as he's a baseball and he's dating coach. It's such
Oh,
the Survivor editors are so good at just crafting very subtle jokes. They're called editors jokes. So like when like they transition scenes, sometimes they can do something funny there. They can mess with
jeez.
camera angles. It's very funny. But also, Survivor editors are really mean because they do a lot of what's called franken quoting, where they like really splice together quotes, and a trained ear can hear them. because they can tell any story they want, and they can make
True.
it. Yeah,
You can like mid-sentence cut someone off and just come up
they're
with something
very
completely
good at
new.
it, and they've done it since the very beginning. They're very good at it.
There you go.
Driver's evil, man, but I'd still play.
There you go. Well,
I
maybe we'll
I
get you.
play with the expectation I'm gonna lose, and I feel if you do that rather than have the dream of no, I need to be the winner. I feel like you're gonna have a bad time.
What's a podcast host?
Uh, uh, I'd probably say you know, political staffer, probably.
Political slash podcast staffer.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
There was a
They got
political podcast host who I don't like, got last place in the most recent season. So I was
ah,
pretty happy to see that.
there
He
you
was an
go.
asshole. He's like a big Obama guy. And like just has just a dumb podcast where they say nothing of value. It's just like the most bland stuff ever. And they got turned out they treated their workers poorly and fired a bunch of them when they tried
Uh,
to unionize, which is like, wow, fire Democrat leaning, but you fire people trying to form a union. Pretty fucked.
there you go. Not great. Not
If you
great,
like your
Bob.
podcast host, you can keep it.
Yeah, right.
There's one guy who played who looked exactly like Obama one season when Obama was still in office. Look this up really quick because it's quite funny. Look up Pete Survivor, and it's really weird spelling. Peter Survivor, and it's 32. 32. Just go to images.
Or okay, or it's
Survivor
already
wiki
loading.
sucks. That wiki sucks. Don't go on it. It's so bad.
All right, I'll go images. That's funny.
Let me be clear. I'm voting you out tonight.
That's crazy.
Like his very first, like one of the very first things they say on when their tribe hits the beach is like another player walks up to her like, I didn't know the president would be on this beach, and she starts singing like the commander in chief.
That's good.
And
That's
like,
good.
and he was pretty humble about it. It's like, yeah, I mean, the last 8 years, this has been a constant in my life of, wow, you look like Obama. But if so, he's pretty funny about it.
If he knows, he knew, you gotta go on Survivor. If you're on a show like that, you gotta have a gimmick. And if you know your gimmicks, you look like Obama. There could be worse gimmicks.
Yep, exactly. Oh, one person on that season turned into like a big, like super right wing political podcast person,
Uh-huh.
and she got out super early. Anna Kate, she's like a poker player, so it's like, what a shitty pipeline. Poker to Survivor to political commentary. That's not. You got to be a pretty unpleasant person.
Yeah, right.
Oh, a dude almost like Barry almost had a heart attack that season because they were in Cambodia and they were making him play this ridiculous challenge. It was like 120 degrees out. The dude almost died.
Oh, jeez.
And like what
That's not
sucked is
good.
the reward was salt and pepper. That's what they were fighting for. It was the second, so like they were fighting for second place since it was a three-team season. It was
Uh,
like, what a shitty thing to almost die for.
Salt and pepper. What are they fighting for? Why is salt and pepper the
That was the
second
second
part?
place reward. The first one was like more spices.
Oh, for like food or something?
Yeah.
Okay. Makes sense. Huh?
Like the
Huh.
early ones are like the first reward's always has always been fire, just a flint. Then like you get a tarp or fishing gear. Those are the big staples, and then you move on to food.
Hmm. The more you know. I've never sat down and watched Survivor. Everything I know about Survivor I've gotten from
Don't watch the new shit. I still watch every episode. And it sucks.
you. Yeah.
I get no enjoyment out of it anymore, but I still watch that shit. It's like that Trump Diet Coke tweet from like 15 years ago. It's like Diet Coke sucks, but I still drink that shit every day.
That's
It's like, yeah, that's bad. That's right, President.
I
Back when he
respect
was a
it.
really funny poster on Twitter.
Hey man, did you see his post about the Super Bowl? I thought it was pretty funny
What was
actually.
it?
It was, here, let me pull it up.
Was you mean his truth?
That the kickoff rule sucks.
Oh, was it no? Was it on Truth Social though?
Oh yeah, it was but it got reposted on his Twitter account too.
I
Let's see. Let's see. Where was it? Oh, here we go. And I quote, two great quarterbacks in this game, also an unbelievable running back, and the absolute best tight end in football ever. Wow. Saying that about that's not what I said.
saying that about Dallas Goddard.
Yeah, I think so. Incredible coaching. If they would only get rid of the really weird looking new kickoff quote unquote deal, which actually makes football more dangerous, they'd be doing everybody,
No,
especially the
it
fans,
doesn't.
a favor. I still think I don't like the new
How
kickoff. I'm
I
not
will
gonna
say
lie.
this: Trump has never, ever given a fuck about football, and I hate him faking that he does.
Anyway, it will be a great game. I'll be doing the interview before the game at 3 p.m. There hasn't been one in 4 years. Gee, I wonder why.
Okay, that's pretty funny.
Yeah. Uh,
um, I can, dude, he's gonna drop off the cliff like Biden pretty soon. I bet
yeah. It's the Twitter fingers are keeping him alive.
it does. Um, no, it's
Hey, but
he's
you know
never
what?
given a fuck about football. Who's the last big football president? Probably Bill. He's from Arkansas. Oh, who's a
Uh,
band nerd, so probably not.
um,
W fake. Obama's basketball. Biden didn't know where he was. I
hey,
mean,
you know what?
you
Hey,
know who
you know
President
what?
Football was? You know who President Football was?
Gerald Ford.
Yes, sir. I'm trying to think. Jimmy Carter's from Georgia. I feel like that would track.
Hey, you know what? If Trump does, you know, I don't even want to say it because I want the Secret Service to barge in here. But you know, if Vance does end up taking over at one point, he'll be the next one.
He's fake, man. He's a
He's
nerd.
not fake, dude. He knows his shit. He's a
No,
big Ohio State guy and he's a big Bengals guy. He knows his shit.
he's fake. It's
He's
performative.
real. He's a
He's a
real. He's
nerd, dog. Um,
nah.
yes. Uh, let's see who else. HW nerd. Reagan band theater kid.
That's
Um,
true. That one's yeah, absolutely.
Nixon played football.
Yeah.
LBJ Texas, yes. JFK, no.
No.
Ike probably.
Yeah, maybe. One of the
Truman
military
probably.
schools.
Truman probably not. FDR,
Definitely not FDR.
FDR, yeah, no. And he's
Hey,
from
Teddy though. Teddy
New York.
probably though.
Teddy made the forward pass happen, dog.
Yeah, Teddy.
Let's see who else. Coolidge, Harding, probably not. And then
No.
there's Wilson,
Oh,
no.
Wilson. Wilson
Oh,
was too busy
Wilson
being.
probably actually because Yale or no
Oh,
Princeton,
yeah. Yeah,
Princeton,
good point
Princeton,
there.
Princeton, Princeton.
Yeah,
That's when
that's
the
true
Ivies were
actually.
cooking in football.
Right, that's true.
Taft, big boy, he's a lineman.
And then
Uh,
obviously Teddy.
Teddy, and that's I think that's about as far as we can go back.
Right, right, right.
I will say Vance was a nerd who hated the white trash people in Ohio. That's what his whole book was about. So I think he has a disdain for football and fakes it, kind of like
But he's
Trump.
a Buckeye though. Like he went to Ohio
Oh,
State.
well, he went to the Ivies after that, dog. That's so. I don't think anyone who goes to the Ivies gives a fuck about football. I'm sorry. Um, you could say that you are, but are you really? I don't think so.
I don't know, man. The way he was talking about skipping inauguration to go to the national championship.
It's all talk, dog. It's all talk.
Hey, man, he could have made it down too, for all we know.
Yeah. Uh, I would have gone to the Natty instead if of my own inauguration.
I would have gone to I would have found a way to go to both. You kidding me?
You
The
can take Air
inauguration's in the
Air
early
Force too.
afternoon. Exactly. You can go to both. You can go to both.
I do not like him. I hate converts.
Let's gonna check here. Okay.
He's like he's on a fast track to get excommunicated, dog. Because he keeps on saying things the Pope's like, no.
What is this? Oh yeah. Okay. Sorry. I was just checking. I saw a tweet. It's a recent trend on Twitter to do a tier list of all four major sports teams
Yeah.
on who has the most pain in their lives. And it's always funny to see people put the Bengals in very little pain or
Oh,
no
so much
pain.
pain.
And I'm like, you
90s,
fucking
nine
kidding me?
for how brutal the 90s were to the Bengals doesn't get as much talk because of how horrible the Bills had it.
Yeah. Well, that's a funny
Bengals
thing.
had it pretty tough too.
The Bengals history is actually funny, and we'll eventually get into the actual content of this podcast. But the Bengals history is funny because they start in '68. They're actually like solid in the '70s. They go to a couple Super Bowls in the '80s. They are dog shit, like probably the worst franchise in football in the '90s.
Oh, I meant 80s, not 90s. My bad.
Yeah, yeah, 80. Yeah, they were like the '80s version of the Bills. Yeah, dog shit in the '90s, like Browns level, not dog shit. 2000s, they get Palmer. They're decent for a while. 2010s, they get Dalton. They're decent for a while. 2020s, I mean, probably the best decade in Bengals history so
80s,
far.
you made a couple Super Bowls, man.
Right. No, that's what I'm saying. If we make one more Super Bowl, the 2020s
Yeah,
is the
yeah.
best. And if they win, it easily the best. It's been the most consistent, I'd say, because since 2021, they haven't had a losing record.
Oh
80s,
five
they
to 15 was such a good run for the
Oh, 5
Seahawks.
to 15 was a great run for the Seahawks, yeah. It's also funny, a good run for the Bengals too. They just
Yeah,
couldn't win a fucking playoff game.
yeah. We're feeling time, folks. Okay. Oh, we got a new subscriber from down in Olympia at lunch
Oh yeah.
today. Yeah. Shout out, shout out to my boy. I'm just blanking on names here. I forget who did it. Oh yeah, shout out to my boy Gabe.
Shout out Gabe. Shout out Gabe. If you're watching, shout out Gabe.
He said he
Um,
needed podcasts to listen to.
he's here. Hey man.
He wants the Seahawks to he wants them to trade up. Well, no, he agrees with me in the quarterback situation. Probably he wishes we had traded up for QB last year, and I can't blame him. I would much rather want a quarterback. Have gotten one last year
Yeah,
than
you
this
would have
year.
wanted one of last year's quarterbacks. Shoot, even in hindsight, even Knicks in hindsight.
Yep,
I would rather
I
I
remember
would
when I
rather
thought,
I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I'd rather have Knicks than Ward or Shadur or any of these dudes.
yeah, me too. I mean, I remember thinking there was a decent shot Mike would be there at 16.
Nope.
That
Makes Atlanta.
man, when we saw that, because it was on mute, and when we saw that happen, I was so shook.
Did you say they turned the audio on in the bar though?
For the Seahawks pick.
Oh, just for the Seahawks pick?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. I imagine that was the one most people cared about.
Oh
So,
yeah, yeah. I saw a good mix of jerseys though.
yeah.
When are we getting our Atlanta Penix jerseys?
Are they not available yet?
I don't know. We just haven't gotten them.
Oh, I don't know. When he does fucking something, I don't know. He's 1 and 2 as a starter
None of them are his fault though. He put up a lot of points, dog.
against Carolina.
It
The
was
Washington
totally the
game,
defense's fault on
the
all those
Washington game,
games.
he didn't necessarily do great in the first half.
That's fair, but he was cooking late. Defense couldn't stop. Couldn't stop. That game looks better in hindsight, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Going toe to
Uh,
toe with the rookie of the year.
is that our segue?
Let's do it.
Washington. Washington went to Philly and got fucking boat raced. Wasn't even close. It was funny too. Their two regular season games were both close, and I was like, I remember when we did the picks. I thought Washington was going to be able to hang with them because they did it for two games, and they won the second one. Obviously,
Told you, buddy. I told you.
nah, nah. Philly was just a different animal.
I
Philly,
told you they didn't
man,
have the lines on either side.
yeah, Philly's just. I really fucking hope I feel like my brain tells me they should, but then the
Save
other
it,
part of
save
my
it, save
brain,
it, save it, save it.
okay, okay. The other
Yeah.
part of my brain tells me it's like, nah, no, the Chiefs are
So
inevitable.
I've been able to listen to my the radio show that I've listened to since that your girlfriend loves, that I listened to since I was in middle school. I've been able to listen to that again with the early mornings, and they
Mm,
always one of the hosts, now hosts, he didn't used to be a host, but after the big host left, um, he's always done a parody song of the week that's thematic to the week. And this week it was like a parody about how the NFL rigs it for the Chiefs, and it's really funny. I'll have to shoot it your way.
yeah, that's good. That's good. I will have to check that out. Um, good timing on that. Yeah, Washington. I don't know.
By the way, shout out to friend of the pod Nate for making it out to the Kraken game with me last week.
Oh, there you go.
We
Of
went to the
course. Watch the
Seahawks
Sharks get
Sharks
freaking
Kraken.
boat raced.
Oh yeah, man. Well, what's crazy is every Kraken game I'd went to before that went to overtime. I was telling Nate before the game that I
Now
made it
that
in time for puck drop though. It was cool.
that's pretty good. I thought you were talking about the second period and stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
There
no,
you go. You
made it in
made
time
it.
for. It was 7:30 puck drop, so I mean
Ah,
I
okay.
can make that drive in like an hour 10 now from
Okay.
Seattle to Olympia.
Really? Even with traffic?
Well, here's the thing that's great. Traffic's in the opposite direction of the commute for
Oh, yeah, I
me.
guess that's true. Most people are gonna be leaving Seattle, not
And
going
like
in.
they're going the opposite direction everywhere, you know.
Right.
So it's really nice because they're leaving Tacoma.
So that's always the best feeling when you're just like when you're on the freeway and you see just
It's still
hundreds of
not clear,
cars.
you know. There's still, but it's not stop and go, you know.
Right. Or when I'm just saying, like when you're on the freeway
Oh
and there's
yeah,
just hundreds, probably thousands of cars, just like bumper to bumper on the other side, and you're just
oh
like smooth sailing. You're just
that's
like,
great.
haha, suckers, you know?
By the
Great
way,
feeling.
some Seattle
Great
news for
Schadenfreude
you.
feeling. What's
There's
that?
snow on the ground.
Yeah, I heard. I heard UW tweeted about that. I saw that.
Yeah, and there's still snow out here. It never stuck in Olympia, but it snowed, you know, several days this week. But there's
You,
still snow in Bellevue.
you know what happened last week that I've never seen happen before?
What?
My car froze.
Wow.
Like I don't know. I think it rained last or rained overnight, and then it was just super cold and it didn't snow. But like it rained overnight, the car was wet, and then when I got in the morning, I mean the like literally there was just ice covering the outside of the car.
So I haven't had to scrape my car since before college because I've always had jobs that I don't have to wake up early for, and I have to do
Uh-huh.
that again. I've been scraping it every morning.
Yeah. I didn't have to scrape it. I just turned the heaters on and then just had the windshield wipers
I
going
don't
full
wake up
blast
early
for a
enough
couple
to be able
minutes.
to. I don't wake up early enough to be able to do that.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I was running late and I was like, I'm not gonna let the ice. I was running late. Shout out to me not being late, but um I
I've
was behind schedule. I'll say that.
I've
I was
never
behind.
been late to my job, my new job, other than the first day, the second day, because I didn't park. I didn't have my parking pass yet, so I did visitor parking. My second day, I got my parking pass, and it's in this big garage with this weird system of getting out, and there's like this
Uh,
bridge across the freeway. So I got lost, and they were like, and what's funny is my boss was like, "Oh yeah, this happens to like every. If you ever wonder where a new session aide is, they're probably in the Grand Plaza garage." Like, yep, it took me a while to get my bearings too, just in the building, you know, both
hmm.
the office building and the state legislature building. They are freaking labyrinths.
Hmm.
Labyrinths, man. Beautiful labyrinths with like marble floors and walls, but still a labyrinth. What's really cool is in the ledge building. That's the building with the dome on it. Um, the pneumatic mail tubes, they don't use them anymore, but they're like built into the walls.
Mm.
And you can see them, when you're walking by them in the walls. So it's like must have been cool when they used them. Must have been a lot more mail back in the day before email too, man.
I remember watching Elf for the first
Oh
time back when I
yeah,
was a kid, and I saw there was the mail tube scene, and I was like, man, that is so cool. Like, I can't wait to work in a building one day that has those, and they're
I
just
bet
not.
I bet like New York buildings still have those.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true.
Skyscrapers.
Yeah.
Um, makes me think of the mailroom from Always Sunny. But
Uh,
Buddy getting drunk with mail workers.
yeah. Well, speaking of legislators getting absolutely lost out there, Washington's football team,
Dang,
against the Eagles.
dang, nothing but net on that one, buddy.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think there's much to talk about it. Hey,
It
hats
was
off
it
to the
was a
commies. Hats
decimation,
off to the commies for a great season making the NFC
right?
title. No one ever
Shout
could
out
top that.
Frankie Louvu for just not quitting on the jump.
It got to the point where we're gonna award a touchdown if you do it again. But to be
I've
fair,
never heard that before.
I they did it to Tomlin once when he kept offsiding a field goal, I think.
Oh, really? That's so
Yeah.
funny, man.
But honestly, hard counting on a tush push is kind of fucked. So if they're hard counting, you should not award the touchdown.
Hmm.
That was my take on that.
Yeah. The Buffalo
Um,
KC game, I have a feeling we'll have more to talk
however,
about.
however, um, the here's my solution to the tush push. Okay,
Yes.
the person that takes the snap cannot be pushed. You can still do a sneak.
Okay. I
I think
respect that.
I think that's and you can still have a running back or receiver get pushed, like if they caught the ball or running the ball. That's fun, you know.
Right.
But the person taking the snap cannot be pushed. I think that is a very fair rule. And you know what I think we'll
What
see
if
more
it's
of?
like a QB draw that just happens to get to the goal line and he's kind of like
Okay, that's
battling.
fair. That's fair. Maybe like immediately after the snap in the
Right,
coverage.
maybe it can't be under center or something.
Oh, that's yeah, under center snap push. Yeah. But
Yeah.
then what's the definition of under center, right? I think the definition would have to, maybe they'll take a really short shotgun snap, right? Maybe it's got to be
Uh-huh.
distance. I think the way you legislate it is like distance from the center. It'd have to be like what's 3 yards probably.
Right. I mean, you could also even do a timing thing where you see like you can't push within the first 5 seconds of the snap or something.
But then they'll do like a QB power with
Right.
with sniffers. I think I'd sacrifice a QB draw for clarity on that,
Fair enough.
for
Fair
no
enough.
loopholes. I'd rather close that loophole.
Fair enough. Well, I'll say I just won a national championship in CFB 25 with Washington with basically a Jalen Hurts clone doing
Hell
QB
yeah.
blast whenever every time we got in the goal line. So,
Hell yeah.
um,
I prefer QB sweep.
QB sweep's fun. QB sweep's fun if you got fast QB, but I had like a Cam Newton clone at quarterback and
Okay, okay.
he wasn't
Well, that's
fast. He was just huge.
okay. Yeah, Cam Newton's the only man who would ever ran QB power really well in the NFL level, man. One of one. I've said it many times before. I love Cam Newton.
Yeah.
Um, I more so my love for QB sweep is IRL, especially with like a quads fib in college. That's really
Uh-huh.
fun. Milrow was really good at it this year.
Hmm.
Penix did it a couple of times late. He did it against Utah, did it against Oregon State.
Right.
Busted out those wheels, man. He can get that pylon.
Teacher Seahawks quarterback Jalen Milrow.
He's too supposedly he had a bad senior bowl, man.
Yeah. He had a bad season, man.
I don't know what the hell is gonna happen to him in the NFL. I haven't played linebacker.
Yeah. All right.
Well,
Buffalo
start
KC.
start reading Houston Roughnecks, buddy. Let me read
Chiefs
some
are
up
up to
next.
Buffalo, KC.
Where to
Oh,
begin? So nightmare scenario almost happened, Bo.
yeah.
Remember what that was?
I do not.
Overtime and Chiefs win in overtime after
Oh
goal
yeah.
score and they go for two. Because if they
Oh no.
tied it, we would go to OT and karma could have happened there, man.
Oh gosh. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That would have been hilarious. I'm not even gonna lie. That would have been kind of funny. I'm not
It would
gonna
have been
lie.
hilarious. It would have been really funny.
Buffalo Twitter would have melted down more than they already did.
Josh
Um.
Allen totally got the first down too.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That was my first thing. Is Allen definitely got the first. That was fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. He definitely got the first. Um.
If on that play, on that crucial play, the Benjamin Solak missed, man. I'm sorry, but that play design, the running
There's no
back
way he.
is
There's no way
not.
he's having to evade the rush. Like basically the
But
second he
second of
takes the
all,
snap.
he's not the primary read, and the only time he'd throw that quick if it was the primary read, it was clearly
Exactly.
he was not the primary read. Now, what I did like is Buffalo ran a mesh variation. What I don't like is the shitty variation they ran. They had like two clear outs in the same spot. I feel like a lot of play callers forget that a key part of mesh is the over the ball. It's middle triangle, guys. It's middle triangle. It's having the over the ball. It makes the linebackers always wrong. And he ran two clearouts right next to each other. Bad play design.
Can I say something about Ben Solak? Because I've actually been a fan of his for a
I
while,
like
but
Ben Solak a lot.
I think this needs to be said here. I think he knows ball. Don't get me wrong. I don't. I think he knows ball. I also think he thinks he knows a little bit more than he actually
He and
does.
and he never strapped him up. That's why he doesn't know. That's
Yeah.
why he doesn't realize that. No, that was
And
not a hit Reedy could have made. He's facing the opposite direction for a
he's
reason, Ben.
literally facing the opposite direction. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And they're like, "Oh,
It's
that should have been your first read." Well, I'm sorry. Okay,
and it seems
that's
that
Joe
that's
Brady's
never
fault
the
then.
first read. That's clearly check down. And even if he threw that, I think there's a guy that probably makes a tackle.
Yeah, and that's Joe. And then that's on Joe Brady. Then if I don't,
It was a bad design.
yeah, no, I'm
That
so
it was very
I,
clearly eye candy. It was very clearly eye candy with that motion.
I've actually made even though I've been a fan of Silax for a while, the past probably month and a half or so, I've made a concerted effort on my burner to see if I can get blocked by him, just
Yeah.
because I will constantly shit on his QB ranking. Because he's in the camp along with Steven Ruiz that somehow still is Herbert over Burrow.
Oh my
Um,
God.
which I'm sorry, I
What
didn't
has Herbert
realize.
ever done
There's been this camp
other
of
than his
guy.
first game against Kansas City?
I'd say his entire rookie year. I'd argue his entire rookie year was good, but there's been this camp of guys that like were enamored with Herbert pre-draft, thought the Bengals should have taken him after his rookie year, took their victory laps, and are now at this point,
Absolute
four
stupidity.
years later, refusing to acknowledge that they
Has
brought.
Herbert ever won a playoff game?
He is now he's 0-2. Meanwhile, Burrow's 5-2. Now wins aren't necessarily a QB stat, but it needs to be
I've
said.
never heard Arrowhead be called Herbert Head.
That's true.
Has he ever won
That's
there
true. He has one there. He has in the regular season.
once?
Twice, I think.
Okay. How many
But
times
one
has
of them,
Burrow
I
won
think,
there?
was in the Chiefs were resting starters in Week 18. So
How many has Burrow won there?
Burrow's won once there. He's won one out of three.
I thought he's won
But one,
twice.
but both the losses were
I thought he won
ref
twice.
influenced. No, he's only played there 3 times.
So it should be called Herbert Head, not Burrow Head.
Actually, hold on. I need to check this. Hold on.
I think he's got two, man.
Justin. No, I know for a fact Burrow's only won at Arrowhead once.
Let's check that.
Career against. I can't believe the Chiefs isn't the first thing. Here we go. Stat Muse. At Arrowhead. Let's do date here. Okay. At Chiefs was a loss. At Chiefs was a loss. At Chiefs was a loss. One win there.
2 wins.
Two wins. So yeah, okay.
All
So
right,
two
let's
wins
check
was right.
Burrow. Let's check Burrow. We're right here.
Okay. I know he's 3-2. If you count playoffs, which I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this will count
Oh, it should.
playoffs.
It should.
Oh no, it's only counting regular season. Never mind. Yeah, this is only regular season.
Oh shit, you're right. My bad.
But then he's 1-1 in the
Yeah.
playoffs. So 2023 there was Browning, and they still almost won Browning. Funny enough,
Yeah.
but um. Anyway, so yeah, Herbert's got him beat there. However, two of those wins were against the Chiefs backups,
Tina's
I will say.
monitoring over me on her cat tower.
Or one of those wins. Sorry, no, one of those wins was week 18 Chiefs resting starters. The other was legit. The other was legit.
Yeah. My dad got my mom a Roomba for Christmas,
Oh
and
yeah,
Tina's very suspicious of it.
not a fan.
She likes to supervise from a high location.
There you go. Not a fan. That's funny.
She doesn't ride it like I hope she would. She's so
Yeah.
cute right now. She's sticking her head and one paw over her cat tower. It is really cute. I'm gonna take a picture of this because it's so cute. It's like she's waving at me. I'll send it to
What are some other
I'll send it
takes
to
from
the
this?
group chat. You got to pull this up because it's
Okay. All right. Let's see here. Oh, wait, hold on. I don't want to pull up Facebook
she's
on the
just
phone. Hold
supervising sleepily.
on. There you go. That's a good picture. Here we go. I'll pull this up. Can I?
She's sleeping on the job though. She's got her eyes closed now.
Dang it. Can I? Hold on. Sorry.
No worries, Doc.
Trying to get it up without
Yeah, no, I
doxing my
feel you.
Facebook account. There we go. There we go. There she is.
Oh, just sleepily supervising.
Oh,
One great thing about cats compared to some dogs, especially and Zeus counts in this, you can really tell what they're listening to
mm-hmm.
because cats can really rotate their ears,
Mm-hmm.
even more so than like even dogs with pointy ears, I believe. Let's say they were looking away from you. You could tell if they're listening to you though.
Yeah. Zeus can do whatever he wants with his ears. They're hilarious, man. I love his
Yeah,
ears.
they're
They're
pretty floppy,
hilarious.
right?
Oh, they're very floppy, but then he's also got like the bat thing where they'll just stick up
Oh,
and you
that's
can see him
cute.
twisting.
That's cute.
Yeah. It's funny too because he's got the thing where it's like with dogs with their tails, like when they wag, they're excited. When they're up, they're alert. When they're down, they're sad. Like all this. He does the same things with his ears. Like you can tell.
Hmm.
Like he'll be like sitting on your chest or sitting on your belly, and he'll be like all rested, and his ears will be like floppy. And then he'll hold noise at the door, and he'll get up, and his ears will immediately perk up.
Nice.
That's funny.
See,
That's funny.
cat tail language is a little more subtle.
Yeah.
Um, if they're like walking around, there's like a little crook at the top. Means they're
Uh-huh.
pretty happy. Um, and like when their tail is swishing when they're petting you, they're pretty happy. And then when it gets like really puffy and it's straight up, that's when they're nervous. That's about it.
We have another take about the Bills Chiefs game that's not ref related or that last play
Bill's
related.
Bill's offense felt pretty uninspired, to be honest.
Yeah, it was kind of James Cook. I mean, it was basically James Cook carrying for a while.
Yeah. I
Literally
yeah,
carrying.
the jailbreak screen was a good design, but
Uh,
if that was to Khalil Shakur and not Amari Cooper, it would have gotten a first down because there was space. Amari Cooper just so slow now.
right.
Um, it just felt uninspired, man. Allen needs a real weapon, man.
Relying on Amari Cooper
It's
in the year
never
of our
felt
Lord
like he's had
2025.
it's never felt like he's had a true weapon. Even when Stephon was there, it was an old Stephon.
I'd say the first couple of years of Stephon were pretty good. Last year was rougher.
He's never been happy there. But
Yeah,
what
great.
if what if the Saints are actually gonna hire Spags? Or what if the Saints are gonna hire Matt Nagy?
I thought you were gonna say, what if the Saints or if Don Kincaid caught the pass?
That's a hard ask, man.
I'm not saying it was an easy catch, but it he could have had it. It would have
That
been an incredible play if he got it. I will say that. It's not
that's
like he missed an
people
easy
saying
catch.
like yeah, people acting like it was really catchable. I think it's a pretty hard ask.
It was
Uh,
catchable, but it wasn't like
Sure, he could have caught it, but
it would have
nowhere
been
near an
off
easy
balance,
catch.
leaping, kind of
Cutting back
awkward.
field,
Yeah, awkward
because he was a
angle.
clear out. He was a clear out. The fact he
Right.
got his hands on it, diving like that, pretty freaking impressive.
Right.
Hey,
All right.
at least Allen won MVP.
Yeah, right. Is it time to? Oh, and by the way, you won that, by the way. The
Let's go.
awards. Barely by the skin of your teeth. Look at that.
Let's go. So let's look at the
Yeah.
reels. Okay. Dan Daniels. First won it. Damn.
Yep.
Donald Johnson. Yeah. So Burrow got the comeback, huh?
Burrow did get a comeback. Well deserved, obviously. Coming back from sucking does not count. I'm sorry. You know what's funny, actually?
Castorgino.
You know what's funny? Well, that's because there's no good gear candidates that year from an injury standpoint.
I don't
But
know.
what's
Gino was
funny,
the bit. He was one of the huge stories that year, though. To be fair.
a lot of people, and I took this to mean just like, oh, that's how well Burrow played. So I'm not even insulted. A lot of people on Twitter are like, what did Burrow even come back from? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you not remember reposting the video of him not being able to pick a water bottle up in September?
Remember you
Fuck
saying
you
no,
guys.
no, it's not anything weird, guys. No.
Exactly. And now I'm on the other side. He came back from not even being able to pick up a water
Oh man.
bottle. So
So
there you
who
go.
got more right? Did it come down to second and third places?
It came down to a lot of second and third places because, like, let's see. So you got MVP. I got second place there. I got Saquon, but you got Lamar second. Sertan Hendrickson came in second, so I got him there. Daniel's neighbors came in like fourth. He might have even been fifth, actually. Now I think, yeah,
Wow.
he came in fifth, I think. So I didn't get any points for neighbors. Verse, Q came in second. No, actually, I think Q came in third. I think Fisk came in second. Um, Darnold wasn't even like top four. I don't think you got any points, or I didn't get any points for him.
Really?
Yeah,
His last two games really did that much damage.
yeah, I think it was Burrow, Dobbins, Hamlin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damon's still getting votes, man.
Yeah, I know, right? KOC won, but Campbell came in second. Johnson won, but Flores was second. I don't remember who was third, but it wasn't Fangio.
Wow,
But
I screwed up on that one. That's the only one I missed on, huh?
yeah,
And Q, and Q.
thank you. But I think he still came in third, so he
Trust
still
in
gets
Q, baby. Trust in Q.
right.
Where we go one, where we go all. Uh-oh. Out of context right there.
Alrighty, it's time. The big game,
Man,
the
this was the most
rematch.
unhinged media day ever, maybe since Marshawn's two Super Bowl media days.
Right?
I think I forget which one he didn't come to the podium. I think that was the second. I
Mm-hmm.
think the first one he actually went to the podium. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. One of them he was just hanging out on the side, and the only one person he actually talked a little bit to was Prime. Prime on NFL Network, man, he was so awesome. He
Mm-hmm.
became a lot more hateable when he was at Colorado.
Right. He was a great comment. He was a great media guy for an NFL network.
One thing, as much as I hate Rich Eisen now, but one thing I always found interesting is when him, Mariucci, and Prime are doing things. You're like, "All right, Dion, you want to be in the middle, man?" It's like, "No," I said, "You're doing most of the talking. You should be in the middle." You know, I thought that was pretty cool of him.
Yeah. I I gotta take the pre hair plugs prime. That was the best prime on the NFL Network. Pre hair plugs prime on NFL Network back in like 2011, 2012.
Yeah.
That was the best. That
Remember
was when
Leon Sandcastle and Jerry
Leon
Rice Cake?
Sandcastle. Yep. Yeah, and
Those
Jerry
were
Rice Cake.
awesome. Those were awesome commercials before the combine went to shit.
Yeah.
They screwed up the combine by making it an actual TV event rather than niche.
Yeah.
I kind of miss it when the draft was more niche,
Yeah.
at least past the first round. Isn't it crazy compared to like any other draft?
Oh yeah. I mean, shoot, the only reason people were watching the NBA draft second round last year was because of Bronny.
Yeah.
Like literally every other, I mean, any other draft here, like the NBA draft will get some eyes on it.
That's the
MLB
only
and
reason.
NHL will get some, and when I say some, I mean some
Even I
eyes
don't
on
watch
it.
that. I did watch it when the Kraken picked second.
But the frickin' NFL draft is like, it's a
And
spectacle.
I think the reason why is because NFL draft is the only draft where late round guys can have an immediate impact and be stars.
That's true.
Because every other
That's true.
league you need a lot of development.
I also just think the NFL is so clearly the biggest
Oh
league
yeah.
in America. I love the NBA guys who try to argue that the NBA is in any way, shape, or form because it's international. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, America is the only country that matters to me.
Yeah,
Let's tariff the NBA.
tariff the NBA. Yeah,
Fuck the NBA.
fuck the NBA.
You're not allowed to say that.
I am allowed to say it because the Kings trade De'Aaron Fox, and I'm sad about it.
No, you have a team. No being sad.
Fair enough.
You have good players to trade away.
That's true. Hey, we got Zach Levine, Sacramento. Let's go.
Bothel's finest.
There you go. All right, it's the time. Are we time for the predictions?
Let's make the picks. Of course,
All
the
right.
Lions of -1.
Yeah. So since you won awards, I'll let you pick who gets to go first.
My friend, he will be going first. I want the
All
next
right, I'm
word.
picking with my brain here. I think the Chiefs win again. I hope they don't. I'm not, I'm probably not even gonna watch the second half of this game because I'm gonna be on the road for it. Probably I'll be listening on the radio, but I hope the Eagles win, but I have
You're gonna
no
be
fucking
listening to
faith.
mariachi music during half of it, like we were when we were
Yeah,
watching it.
that's true. I forgot about that. The
That was funny.
mariachi music. Um, yeah, no, it's gonna be.
What game was that? I forget. I think
It
it
was
was
the Oregon.
Georgia. No, it was Georgia
No, that
something.
game was over. Remember, that was the game we were able to see the very, very end of.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't
Yeah,
Oregon. What? Oh, it was. You're right. You're right.
it was, yeah,
You're
Oregon
right.
Penn State. Um, but no, I think I don't know. My heart tells me the Eagles have a chance, and I do objectively think the Eagles have a chance. Like the analytical part of my brain does think the Eagles honestly even probably should win. But the part of my brain that has just been beaten down and made to know that the Chiefs just seem to be inevitable, think the Chiefs win and cover. So I'm taking the
Man,
Chiefs.
from such a kind of a shitty movie, to be honest, I didn't love Endgame. I Am Inevitable was such a hard line that still people say
I
it's a
think
good movie.
Endgame's a good movie. I like Endgame. It's
Nowhere
not as good
near
as
as good.
Infinity War.
Infinity War is an incredible film with a great storyline. I mean,
Right,
for me,
right.
I just love good stories, with
Fair enough, fair
interesting
enough, fair
characters.
enough.
Um, Too much fan service in Endgame
Oh
for me.
yeah, Endgame is fan service the movie.
Yeah,
That's very true. But I like the ending. It's a very good emotional ending
it is. It is.
there.
Okay. So when I think about this pick, I think about what happened the last time the Chiefs lost the Super Bowl. What was the big deciding factor in that? It was defensive line play. I
Yeah.
think it's fair to say, I think the Eagles have one of probably the deepest defensive line in the NFL. And when what's his name? He was Patriots for a while, but now he's been with Chiefs for a while. What's his
I
name?
thought you were gonna, he was with the Patriots for a while. I thought you were gonna say Tom Brady.
No. Um,
Um,
O line,
Position.
O line.
Oh, Tooney.
When you have Joe Tooney playing tackle, that worries me a little bit. So I'm actually going to go Eagles.
Ooh.
Um, and here's my condition. It only happens if you go full Bill Parcells mode and Saquon carries it 30 times. And Hurts and others take it for another 10.
Yeah.
Um, you got to play ball control. So hammer
hmm
the under on this one. What's the over under? I'm quite curious.
Looking at 48 and a half.
Under, under. Oh yeah. Um, Chiefs defense quite good as well, but that's one hell of an O line. Um, team that loves to blitz. You know what creates cutback lanes? Blitzing from the secondary, especially those inside blitzes. Um, I think Saquon is your Super Bowl MVP if the Eagles win.
Oh yeah, I think there's no doubt about that.
So I think I actually really like the matchup for the Eagles. I think this is a matchup that favors them. Um,
There you go. I hope you're right.
Split decision for the Super Bowl pick. And if the
Yep.
Eagles win, I think Sirianni's up there for one of the worst coaches to ever win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, probably close. It's probably close. Well, there you go then. My computer's actually about to die, so we're probably gonna
Let's
have
wrap
to
it up then.
we'll have to wrap it up on that. No mock draft this time around. It's okay. Next Friday we'll do our first
Yeah.
mock draft of the off season as well as our Super Bowl recap. But yeah, while our friend Rob here is in session, we're moving to one podcast a
It's a
week, but
good time for it. It's
it'll
a
be good Friday ones. How long is session for?
April until after April 27th.
Oh, until
And
after the
that
draft.
I know. We'll figure out something for
Maybe
the draft.
maybe you'll be able to bring your stuff down to Olympia for the week of the draft.
Yeah, I have. I'll do what I did on Tuesday. For that, I have a second laptop,
hmm
so the setup won't be as good, but I'll figure something out. And I probably might miss the first few picks since I get off at 5. Actually, I
hmm
get off. I'll probably get off at 4:45 that day, so I might miss. I might be there in time for when Shiloh's the first overall pick.
There you
Um,
go. Which it will be a big day. It will be a big day for sure for the Sanders family. Wait, one last thing. Do you see
yeah,
Shadur
yeah,
tweeted happy birthday to my favorite son? Or
that's funny.
Dion tweeted happy birthday to my favorite son to Shadur.
What happened to what happened to the Sun rankings, man?
I don't know, man. And then all the all the comments were just the 50 Cent meme of Shiloh saying, "What do you say fuck me for?"
Well, the last time the Sun rankings were out, or the first Sun rankings, I don't know if they changed or not, but I remember it was a hater, but it was the one who does the film.
Yeah. Deion Sanders Jr. won the Sun rankings
What'd you
because he
do
got.
to your low ball, Tina? You knocked it off?
Well, I'm gonna let my voice get some rest, and we're gonna go. We're gonna watch Super Bowl on Sunday and see.
Yeah, I'm excited. We're having a good party going. Oh, I gotta invite Daniel. I don't know.
Oh,
I
that's
forgot to
important.
invite him.
That's important. Yeah, we'll get an
Yeah,
update
I'll
on how
see you
Mr. Daniel's
then.
doing.
I'm excited for our first postseason mock.
Postseason mock coming next Friday. First postseason episode coming, or not postseason, off season. That's the word. Off season episode
Yeah.
coming next Friday. Any closing thoughts, Mr. Jokinen?
If one of us riots in New Orleans, regardless of outcome, talking to you Eagles fans, all of us do it. If one of us click like, all of us click like. If one of us subscribe, all of us subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good Super Bowl.
Yes, drive safe, folks, especially on Super Bowl Sunday. Don't drink and drive.